back. Today we are going to talk about how to choose your major and kind of what you do, which is the hardest question I always get asked. Because once again, it is a case-by-case basis. And I'm also going to get ready because I have a happy hour scheduled with my friends. Girls' day, girls' dinner. But yeah, so it's hard for me to give everyone a kind of a universal answer because once again, it is a case-by-case basis. But I can give you kind of a general idea of what you need to at least do to kind of figure out what you want to do, because once again, going towards your education and whatnot, it is going to take time, whether that's 2 years, 4 years, whatever, but it is pretty short compared to the rest of your life if you think about it like that. And so I kind of took down some notes to kind of guide today's video on how to choose your major and kind of also stick with a little bit of that passion, because I truly do believe that everyone should follow their passions and throughout their life. But what happens is that when you make uninformed decisions, not a lot of people use their major. That a lot, like, you probably know a couple of people who graduated and did not even use their bachelor's degree, which was me, because honestly I followed passion, but I did it from an uninformed place in my life. And so I cannot blame myself and be like, oh, well, I wasted time, because I generally feel like I didn't waste it, because I still am able to use what I was taught in undergrad, but not as much as I am now. But one thing that I did want to talk about is understanding your interests and values when it comes to choosing your major. Find what activities you're drawn to. So, like, for example, when I wanted to go back to school for grad school, and this can definitely apply to you as a high school student or someone who's interested in going back to college, but kind of look at yourself and be like, what am I naturally drawn to? So for me specifically, I was drawn to nonprofit jobs, helping other people, giving people advice. I genuinely enjoyed solving people's problems and finding a solution towards them, and if I can't find a solution, find other people to find a solution. Like, I was a problem solver. So that was generally what, throughout all my job positions, whether that was through retail, that was through volunteer work, that was through education, like I saw myself in the role as being kind of an assistant, helper, a leader, in a sense of, well, I get information and I lead you where you need to be in life. And so that's how I choose what I wanted to do for grad school, is finding options that align with who I am as a person and also align at what I'm good at, and finding out what's important to you in your life. Because one thing about passion or doing things you love is that you do it no matter how it sucks sometimes, because not everything is going to be rainbows and sunshines and shit. And so some days are going to be hard. Like, for example, like, when I first transferred over to, I should have put heat protected, but when I transferred over to 2-year to 4-year, it was an adjustment, because I went from a very small, not small, it wasn't that small, but I went from a smaller community college to a big 4-year. And so that was a big change. And moving myself, getting an appointment, living with strangers, it's all an adjustment. And so if you love what you do, like, you stick it out to the end, and that's what I did. Next is, let's see what else. Exploring different career fields. This one I always give. This is the easy one. Researching industries and job roles that align with your interests and values. Always research. See what information is already online with the roles that you may be interested in. There are lots and lots of websites where they tell you kind of what's the estimated median, the pay, the amount. Not only that, I tell people to not only check the pay, because what sometimes I see my students do is that they only pick jobs because the pay is well, but they don't realize the path to get from point A to point B is fucking crazy. Like, for example, they want to be a lawyer because a lawyer pays a lot, and then they realize they have to take the test, I think the LSAT, they go to school, they have to get the master's or X, Y, and Z, like it's a lot of schooling, and then they're like, no, actually I don't want to do it no more. Now I don't know what to do. And so they're making decisions based off of uninformed decisions. It's like writing an essay with no data. How are you gonna write the essay with no data? It's kind of like that. Like, you don't build your essay. Like, yes, you can brainstorm and throw up as in just write a bunch of bullshit, or it's not always bullshit, but you get what I mean. You write an essay with no fucking citation, no fucking resources, and you wonder why it sucks. So same thing with choosing your career or kind of what you want to do, is you have to do it from a place of informed decisions. And on top of that, like resources where they tell you how much they get paid and or the schooling, the amount of hard work that goes behind each field. You also are able to use YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. People have documented their lives of each and every. People love to talk about themselves, and so you can find anyone if you're interested in nursing, a day of a life as an RN nurse. There's so many people, a day as a life as a CEO or something. Oh, I don't know if that exists somewhere out there. But you get what I'm trying to say. Like, there's just so much information out there, and it's at your fingertips. And people fail to realize like how easy it is to find most solutions to their problems by just asking, by looking, and also some people don't utilize their family as a network. Like, for example, they're like, oh, like my aunt or like my second cousin is a nurse, and I was like, well, call them. Your mom probably has their phone number or something, and so they're your first point of contact. And not only that, they may know someone, or they may know a place that's hiring too. And so like when you're done with school, they're like, hey, like I heard so and so hospital is hiring, and so referrals, use your network, use your connections that you already have. You don't underestimate the power of family. Also connecting with professionals, reaching out to individuals in your target career fields for insight and advice. I never really did that. Maybe that's why it took me a while to break through the job. I mean, not networking, but like I really, for some reason, not a big fan of LinkedIn, but a lot of people connect on there. Like, I have a lot of connections on there, but to be honest, I don't really talk to people on there. I don't really post. I literally just go on LinkedIn just to update what I'm doing and then dip. That's literally all I do. But I've seen stories of people where they're successful, they're able to connect with people on LinkedIn and build connections and find out more about the job through there, or internships and things like that, or just a chat or grab a coffee. I know some people do that. But yeah, I don't know why, but I'm not really big on LinkedIn. But that's an advice. Next is exploring college programs. Obviously, identifying programs that match your interests and career aspirations. You're able to see most information of I want to say per se courses. I think a general overview of what courses are going to be offered if you do decide to go to that major that is already posted on the college's website. Not only that, you may know a friend of a friend, or your friend who has an older sibling who's at the college. You can ask them about that. Use your friend network. You may know somebody who knows somebody who is doing what you want to do, and so don't underestimate that power too. As I said earlier, kind of weigh the pros and the cons of different options. Analyze the benefits and the drawback of different majors and programs. So, like, for example, I could use myself as an example. Sociology. I did my undergrad in sociology because someone inspired me to do it. I had a good teacher in high school who inspired me to ow, did I not brush that part? Who inspired me to do sociology, but what I failed to realize is that I can't really do much with it unless I get my PhD in it. And I realized very soon, my senior year, when I took one of that statistics class or something, and I failed it, and I had to take it again. That was my first and last W. But I didn't want to do sociology. I realized really quick I did not want to do sociology for the rest of my life, and so I didn't. But I didn't go into college knowing that, and that information is pretty public, not gonna lie. I just didn't. Did it turn off? It did turn off. What the heck? Oh my god, I unplugged it. I'm over here straightening my hair with no heat. But yeah, see what majors you need a PhD for. Like some people, they go into psychology because it's like you do. Like I want to study humans, which is really awesome, by the way. And also like crash out moments because you realize stuff about yourself that you didn't before. But psychology, you have to do a continual education, especially like PhD and stuff like that, in order to do your own service or masters if you want to be like a therapist and things like that. And some people fail to realize that because they don't realize that it's sometimes like going to college is very easy once you like you're able to pay for it and show up. The hard part, what gets everybody and every student, and also me, it got me too, is not making choices from informed decisions and asking the wrong people kind of what you do. Because if you are as confused as your advisor, like if you come into your advisor like I don't know what to do, like they can only advise you with the knowledge that they only have in their head, and deep down they may make a decision for you that you actually didn't want in your career. So I think a big part of it is sitting down with yourself and being like, hey, like, who am I as a person? And kind of what do I want to do? And obviously your career trajectory, your education trajectory is not going to be straight. You may make some changes. You may change your major, which is fine. But just make sure that in every single part of that section of your life is to just sit down with yourself and be honest about it. And look at the data out there and whatnot, Done. And then, obviously, consider your financial situation, the evaluating of college of cost, and exploring scholarship and financial aid options. That's always a big one for sure. I think I've already talked about it briefly on my channel, but always consider your financial situation, because the last thing, I don't know, this came with it, so I'm gonna try it. This shit is huge. But the last thing that you want to happen is to leave with a bunch of debt and spend the rest of your life paying it. I'm very anti-debt, anti-loan. I'm very anti-loan, but so I remember when I went to when I finished my associates and I was going to UT after. I didn't have the money, and I was freaking out, to be honest, a lot of times. Like I didn't have a job yet and I was freaking out. I didn't have anything saved up yet. I was freaking out. That's the shortest way I can say it. But with every fiber of my being, I was like, I do not want to take out a loan, even if it's just small loan. Like I don't want nothing to borrow any money. I don't want to. And so I didn't. So I figured out a way to do it, which was I was able to, one, I had a scholarship. One, my parents make my less than 60K. Well, and so I was able to, whatever financial aid couldn't cover, UT paid for the rest. And I know they upped that now. I think it's like all the schools are like, if you make less than 100K, then they will cover the rest, if I'm not mistaken. And so it's good to account into your financial situation, what you can afford realistically. But obviously shoot your shot, because you don't know what scholarships and what opportunities are out there. So don't limit your belief. I mean, it's better to apply and maybe get a no than not apply, because the answer is already no. You know what I'm saying? And so the process of everything, in all life is rejections and no's, and that's just the part of life, like, a lot of rejections in my life. Crusty ass lips. A lot of rejections. Let me getting away. A lot of rejections in my life is redirection. So honestly, it's okay to get no's. Honestly, it's a good thing. At first I hated it. I think I still do. Sometimes you don't want to hear that no, or you build something from scratch and it's like it didn't work out, but you learn something from it. Everything is always a learning experience. Whether so embrace it. Embrace being a human. Obviously seek guidance from advisors, counselors, college and career advisors to make a well-informed decision. And so me as an academic slash educational advisor slash mentor slash unlicensed therapist sometimes, to be honest, oh, and I think I told you, don't judge me, but the foundation I got totally did not match. So I'm using whatever is left over here. And to be honest, there is a lot. And it just didn't want to come out. And so, just checking the time, making sure I'm not behind. I'm definitely not behind. Well, I'm also a Virgo, and so I'm not be blaming my astrology. But I'm pretty on time, like 90% of the time. And so, make informed decisions, and obviously ask someone for help, especially someone who has experience. So, like, for example, I'm able to, tell people and give people advice because, one, I lived through it, two, I help other people, and three, it's like I'm still in education, and so I get updated on like higher ed news, and I also know people from like the K-12 system, and so I get updates here and there about like what's happening to our school system, the Department of Ed, and I kind of see like not the contrast. It's not the contrast, but kind of like the changes that it does for college and how the changes it is for K-12, kind of like updates from both sides, and everything's kind of a pipeline, like you go to elementary school to middle school to high school to college and then maybe to grad school. And so I'm able to see at all levels kind of the trajectory of possibly people's lives, because that's what I do, is that when I sit down with a student and we talk about careers, ambitions, their plans after high school, I try the best that I can with the information that they give me and give them the best possible solution. Because, as I said earlier, not everyone's a case-by-case basis. And so some people, they want to go to community college, so I have to help them. I would sit down with them and look at the community colleges near them and see what that school has to offer, the cost, the distance. Are you living with your parents? Are you not living with your parents? Do you have a car? Transportation is important too, by the way. And things like that. Like, it is, you have to sit down type of moment, and it's more than once. It's more than once. It's not watching one YouTube video and calling it a day and that's gonna be your done deal. Like, it is a process, and not only that, once you get to college, you're not done. You're planning for other classes you have to, get for. And that's the one thing with college, is that's what it was before. College degree proved that you were able to do all of this hard work and show up and be accountable for getting your degree. And so it is a process. Did I blend it correctly? With this lighting is so bright, I can't even see if it did blend correctly. And I'm basically done with the foundation part. I need a but yeah. And so every case is different. I know some students are like interested in like international schools, but to be honest, I'm very limited in that knowledge, and I can't really give any resources on that. I can only like find resources online or kind of redirect you to things like that, because I never did international school. Most of my students, they stay in Texas. Some do try to apply to other schools out there, but the thing is, most students stay inside their state is because of in-state tuition. And so that's one thing with cost, is that there's in-state and out-of-state tuition. But yeah, and so that's the only advice I would give people, is everything that I just said, is understanding who you are as a person. Oh, I forgot to say this. Internships. Big on internships and volunteer work. If you're a high school, I know a lot of people, my high school students, they're like, I don't know what I want to do, and that's because they haven't experienced life yet. You know, as an adult, or like when you in college and things like that, you in work, like you have that experience. You're taking those classes to see if you really like it or not. But as a high school student, you're like, I don't know what I like. I don't know what to do, and that's so normal. Like if you feel that way, it is completely fine. But don't just sit there and not do nothing about it. And so get that internship, get that volunteer, do what you gotta do to get things on, not only on, like, and not per se get it on your resume, because some people, they kind of chase a bunch of stuff to get on their resume, and then they realize, do I forgot my setting powder? But I skipped my setting powder, force a habit. But and so get that internship, like apply to things. Your city probably offers some. I know because I didn't do any internships at all, to be honest, as a high school student, because what I did was in the summer, my mom would literally give me a math book. So boring, and I'm still bad at math. She would give me math booklets to do over the summer, and so I would be at home doing homework. Talk about Asianness. I still suck at it too. My math was my weakest subject. But yeah, she would make us do a lot of like learning in the summer. She was like, "You're not sitting here doing nothing while I'm at work." It's all. But then, anyways, my shit's so funny. Traumatized me as a kid, bro. Just imagine you're just ready for your spring break and your mom just shows a big fat math book for you to do. And you're just like, oh, I thought I was gonna have a summer fun, summer. No, and you're over here doing math problems all day long, multiplication table, and it's like each row has a math equation that you have to solve and do it. It's not even summer at that point. That's summer school. That's DIY summer school that my mom put me through. Traumatizing. When I have a kid, they're not gonna suffer like that. Trust. They're gonna actually go outside and travel and do stuff, and not just homework. I mean, as an educational content creator, heavy on staying on top of your education, but live a little, have fun. The point of life is to live life to the fullest and enjoy it, and of course worry about money and things like that, paying your bills and things like that. But what's the point of doing all that? You can't even enjoy your life, you know? What am I doing? But yes, you don't know what you want to do because you haven't experienced it. And so in a career as well, you don't know if you want to do it because you never internship, you never practice it. And so you're making, again, as I said earlier, you're making decisions from uninformed places in your life. And so of course you're not going to know what you want to do because you've never done it. Like, see what volunteer opportunities or what internships, you know, ask people. Word of mouth can put your foot through the door of many doors. So don't underestimate the power of networking as a high school student. And people actually will, as a student, no matter what phase in your life, people are very, very open to help you when they learn that you are a student. So use that to your leverage. It's all about leveraging out here, Pookies. But use that to your leverage because people are willing to help you because they know how it is as a student. They know that you're here to learn, that you're here to experience life, and that you don't have much to begin with. I mean, that's not what I meant. But you don't have much experience, and you're trying to gain more experience. And so, you know, tell people you're a student. You're trying to do X, Y, and Z, and you're trying to, you know, get into it because people are willing to help. A lot of people are willing to help, and you would be surprised if you don't know because you didn't ask. Like, closed mouths don't get fed out here, bro. And so, connect with people, talk to people. You never know. But all in all, you know, once I finish my makeup, I have to and then show you guys my outfit because I think I have it play under my head, and it looks really cute in my head. So let's see if it's gonna be. See if I'm executing it. If I execute it right, you know? Because sometimes what you have in your head and what comes out in real life is like the fudge. Yeah. So, but you know, overall, like, it's okay if you feel like you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. You're lost. Because everybody feels that way in multiple phases of their life. They're like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how I got here. I woke up and I realized I should have done X, Y, and Z. I am now finally getting this advice, or I'm finally getting help, or I finally just woke up and realized how important it was to do all this shit. It is fine. The first step is self-awareness. The second step is to act on it. And that's what fails a lot of people, is that they get to that point of self-awareness, but then they're so comfortable with where they are in life, is that they'll never do that kind of that in-betweenness of research of what can get them to point A to point B. And that's literally all it takes is action. Because the more you overthink stuff, the less you're gonna do about it, and the more you're just spending time wasting, because that's time you can never get back. And so once you do your research, act on it. Like, follow through with yourself. Like, coach yourself. Be able to look at yourself and be like, if I, was a person who needed help, like, what are the things you do? Because you know yourself the best. You know what you need to do. So, like, for example, if I look at my week and be like, I told myself on my vision board that I wanted to be a Pilates guru. I mean, a Pilates girl, and I'm all over here doing Pilates, but I have like a small Pilates machine at home. Like, that's all me. I know that, and I can say that because it's like I'm looking at myself and be like, if I was a coach, she's not working out. I said I was gonna work out, and I didn't. And so the time I could have been like, oh, I wanted to, I could have just worked out at home and no equipment needed. Not be quiet because I'm doing my mascara. Like, I'm trying to focus. But yeah. So it's okay if you feel lost in life, because honestly, don't we all? And if someone says they don't, they're probably lying, because we've all felt lost in our life. Some people are just better at, like, I guess, faking it till they make it, but you're good. You don't need to know everything. You don't have to, what I'm trying to say is you don't have to have everything solved out. You will figure it as you go when you make that research and make that informed decisions. And don't be afraid to ask help, as I said earlier. But yeah, so I did my mascara, and then let me do my eyebrows, and then do my lip, and then put on my outfit, and then be back. Oh, I can't pause it from here. I thought maybe because I did it from photos and then I recorded it. It's a habit of mine. But I know some videos you're able to, like, pause it and come back, but I'll probably just stop it and then come back with the outfit review. Oh shit, that's a lot. I don't know if you guys even want to know what products I use, but yeah, I'll just show it at the end, because I've been using these for like a hot minute. And before I used to, like, content create for makeup, like, a shit ton. Like, I used to have an account and everything. It was like I got paid for it monthly too, which was crazy. Like, as I was young, I say that as if I'm not that old, but my younger self, we used to content create and make makeup. So I have a shit ton of palettes. I used to do, like, colorful makeup. I used to draw flowers and everything. Like, I did, like, Halloween makeup and shit. Not like the XFX makeup. Oh, that's cool. I used to follow a shit ton of content creators, and I was like, damn, how could I do that? But yeah, I'm gonna need to go find a lip. But for my foundation, don't judge. As I said earlier, I'm just using the rest of the product. The top is good. But it's the L'Oreal Fresh Wear Foundation with sunscreen. Heavy on the sunscreen, y'all. And then I used the Revolution Banana Baking Powder. I got it because it was on sale. I really don't use baking powder ever. But next is the Revolution. People ask for my blush a lot for this one. It's Revolution Rose Kiss Blusher Reloaded. But yeah, this is the shade, and honestly, I have not made a dent in it at all. But yeah, this is the shade. And then next is Ulta Beauty Lifting Mascara. And then, oh my god, my foundation. This bronzer. Yes, bronze hula brand. And I actually got this for free through the mail because the advertisements that I be getting on Instagram, it's like sign up and you can get this free item. I've been doing that shit just so I can get free products. So I got this e.l.f. Brow Laminating Gel, and at first I was like, I don't really like it because I really don't really do my eyebrows, but it's grown on me. And then before I did moisturizer from The Ordinary. I've been using this product since day one. This is my ride or die, to be honest. And then I think I got this at Sephora. And then these are like my Morphe brushes. And this is my bag. That's it. That's it. That's the makeup. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on a lippy and then outfit, and then I'll be back. Because it's about to be 3, and it probably does take me an hour to get there anyways. This is what you get for, not me shaking the camera, but I live pretty far from downtown, so BRB, y'all. So I got that other dress just in the mail the other day, so it looked like it didn't work out. I was in my closet having a fucking dilemma, but I'm eating pasta tonight, so I know for sure that this fabric is more softer, as you can see. I also just got this the other day. I might change the heel colors because the blue don't match, so I might change it to something else. But this is basically, I think this is, I can't even see without my glasses. But I think this is cute. So, we'll do that. I have no idea what first, but yeah. That's basically it. It's so flowy. She was a fairy. It can't take me seriously anywhere.